Are you eating low calorie and can't figure out why? You still have tons of body fat on your body? Watch this.
Our next caller is Christine from South Dakota.
Hi, Christine. How can we help you?
Hey, thank you so much for having me on, guys.
You got it.
Yeah.
I would be remiss to not tell you how much it is just appreciated for what you do. Your wealth of information and just everything you share with people is truly awesome. And how much you guys have your candor and your transparency through it all is really appreciated. I feel like that's kind of lost in society. So thank you for having that.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I guess I need to just start with my basic question, which was when I wrote in, sorry, I'm looking for it. I'm wondering if there is ever a time a person has to realize that lifting isn't the best way to drop weight, and one must actually add more cardio instead. I feel like I've listened enough to assume that the answer is lift. However, I'm continuing to gain weight while I still do lift 2 to 3 times a week. I am currently at my heaviest, even after 2 pregnancies, and I wouldn't care what the scale says if I didn't have such a high BMI, which is currently 30%. So I'm just wondering if I should be adding some kind of like running or rowing or something to the beginning or the end of my workout.
Christine, this is a great question, and you remind me of the majority of clients that I used to train who would experience something very similar. So I'm going to be very, very clear, okay? Workouts are not great for weight loss. Lifting weights is great for building muscle. Now, the side effect of which is a faster metabolism, which lends itself better to weight loss. Cardio is a great way to get healthy, not a great way to lose body fat. It does burn calories. However, your body adapts very quickly to it. So build muscle, improve your health, and also improve your health with cardio. The reason why you're having trouble with weight has not to do, or really very little to do with your workouts, and has almost everything to do with your nutrition. It's your diet. So if you want to lose body fat or lose weight, don't try and work it off with more workouts. Now, you can work out more if it improves your health and makes you feel better. That's not only perfectly fine, that's great. But when it comes to weight loss, look at your diet. That's where you'll find the answer, and that's where we get the results you're looking for.
Now let's speculate a little bit here, so and see if we can maybe hit home on some stuff. Now, this is a very common situation for clients. Like I think I've spoke to this more than anything else. Now, what is most common when I get somebody in this situation, especially when they get kind of frustrated, like, man, I feel like my diet's good, Adam. I make good food choices. I don't go eat fast food. I don't eat sweets. I don't do all these things. Because obviously, if those things were in there, it would be very probably obvious to you, like, okay, you probably need to cut some of that bullshit out. But what tends to happen is my female clients that would like to see weight go down the scale, they believe in me, they trust that strength training is the better way to go to speed their metabolism. The area that I almost always see they are missing is the consistency around protein intake. And that is why they're not seeing the benefits of the strength training like they would like to see, because what they're doing is they're feeding their body low calorie. They're eating good choices as far as like they're not eating bad foods. They're eating healthier choices. But then when I look at their macros, their protein take is so low that they're not building very much muscle from the weight training. The only benefits they're really getting from the weight training is the calorie burn, which is hardly anything when you weight train. So what's happening is they feel like they're eating good. They feel like they're following my protocol of strength training, and they're looking back at me going, Adam, I'm just not getting any leaner, and I'm not feeling like the scale is moving, but I feel like I'm making good choices. I'm following your weight training program. And then I dive into the diet and I go, well, you know, when was the last time you strung 2 weeks together of hitting your protein intake every single day? And rarely ever can they say, you know what, Adam, I am doing that. And I go, well, what's happening is you're sending a signal to build muscle by lifting weights. But the problem is you're not giving it the building blocks in order to build the muscle, in order for it to speed up your metabolism, and in order for it to help you lose body fat. So that, without knowing any more details or even asking you, that is probably the most common thing that I see with somebody in your situation. Does that hit home at all?
Oh yeah, you're spot on. And I have been recently trying to track a little bit more. It was always just calories, and then the macros thing is new to me. But I listened enough to know that my body weight in grams of protein is what I need to aim for. It just seems like a lot to eat. So I'm aware of that, and I'm trying. So it's usually eggs and either ham or prosciutto or something for a meat in the morning. And then it's almost always a salad with chicken or ham or turkey. Deli meat is kind of my go-to. So I may be missing it there with the kind of protein I'm grabbing.
Well, if you're having, how many eggs and how much prosciutto are you having in the morning for breakfast?
1 or 2 eggs and 2 slices of prosciutto because that's a lot of sodium.
So let's say I don't know what your body weight is, but let's say the average female and you weigh, let's say 140 pounds. Okay, so 140, you're going to need to have a good, 40 something grams of protein for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. What you just told me is like 12 grams of protein. So those are protein foods.
By the way, this is I'm helping right now my sister-in-law right now, and this is her exact struggle as I'm looking at her diet, and what the hardest part for her is she'll do it for a little bit, she'll do it for like a week or two for me, and then she'll holidays happen, and then she reverts back to her eating habits. And unfortunately, muscle takes a while. It's not like instantly. It's not like you eat like your protein intake for 1 week and all of a sudden you slap on 10 pounds of muscle. It's a very slow process. And the most important thing I tell her is right now, I need you to hit that protein intake consistently. Breakfast is where she struggles. It's where most people struggle. So what I tell her is like, listen, dinner is easy for her. She loves ground turkey, beef, steak, all those basic dinner meals. But I'm like, you need to leave some of the leftover from dinner, and that needs to become breakfast mixed with eggs. So I'm like, take your 1 to 2 eggs and mix it with 4 to 5 ounces of beef, chicken, steak, whatever your meat is that you have for dinner, to make sure you start your morning with 40, 50 grams of protein so you stay ahead of your goal. Otherwise, you're playing catch up all day and then you never hit your
And this
intake.
can be, and Whole Foods is the best way to go.
Yeah.
But this can be where protein shakes can be helpful because it is challenging for people, for a lot of people to eat the right amount of protein. But do you know what your calorie targets are? And you started tracking? What are you tracking so far?
I did an in-body scan. This is actually over a year old, and that one said 1317. And then I now I'm on Fitness Pal. If I grab out my phone, is 1400.
That's what you're eating, or that's your goal?
What I'm eating. Because that's what I thought my goal was.
Okay, so you're aiming for 1,400 calories a day. Are you hitting it?
Yeah, or under. Yep.
Okay.
And in the weekends, of course, because
this is identical.
I'm a human being, and it's the weekends, and I will go out or else.
Okay, so
Christine, this is identical. This is identical to my sister-in-law right now.
So Christine, check this out. Okay, let's say Monday through Friday, you're hitting your target of 1,400 calories, which puts you at a 500 calorie deficit each day, meaning you're eating 500 less calories than you're burning. Okay, so we're now going to start tapping into body fat. So that's Monday through Friday. So you're at a total of 2,500 calorie deficit Monday through Friday. But now Saturday and Sunday come along, and instead of eating 1,400 calories on Saturday, very easy to eat 2,500 calories on Saturday. Again, very easy to eat 2,500 calories on Sunday. You've now taken your deficit of 2,500 calories for the week and brought it down to 500 or less. Now that means it's going to take you something along the lines of 7 weeks to lose a pound of body fat. Okay, because the weekend erased a lot of what happened during the week. So if you do track, you got to be consistent every single day. Stick to the strength training, and if your strength is going up, what's going to follow is your metabolic rate. So and hit those protein targets first. So out of the 1,400 calories, figure out where your protein should be at. And it doesn't necessarily have to be your body weight. If your body fat percentage is high, you can use a target for your target body weight. So let's say you weighed 160, but you're like, I want to weigh 130. Make it 130 grams as your target and aim for that, and then make up the rest with carbs and fats.
Not only that, Sal, you know how hard it is to hit 130 to 140 grams of protein in only 1,300 calories?
It's very hard.
It's almost impossible. You'd have to be almost on the carnivore diet in order for that to even mathematically make sense. So this is literally where my sister-in-law is at. Like I need to link you guys two up so you guys can talk to each other. And she would like it because I'm much harder on her, just so you know. I'm like really tough on her about this because I'm like, God, you've known me for so long and you still struggle with this, and you've heard me talk about it so many times. But I get it. I understand.
Yeah, it leaves like 800 calories for carbs or fats. I just did the math.
Yeah, it's like almost impossible. Like you think about the meats, you would have to be eating lean meat all day long with nothing else to almost hit that. So she was in the same area, and so I push her up to 1,800 calories, and I've told her, stay off the scale. I don't give a shit about the scale right now. Our one and only goal is to eat when you're hungry, hit your protein intake, lift weights, and let's be consistent with that. And I'm asking for a month. I'm like, give me 30 days of you hitting your protein intake like I tell you every single day, not missing one for 30 days, and not missing your workouts 3 times a week, and I promise to God I will show you something. You will feel a difference. Your metabolism will speed up. You will feel it. You will see it. But I just got to get you to be consistent for those 30 days at hitting that protein intake. It's so important.
Yeah, Christine, do you have my book, The Resistance Training Revolution?
I don't.
Okay, it would be really helpful. Get it, very easy read. And in there, I talk a little bit about this, and it'll give you some guidance on both diet and what to expect with good resistance training. Now, I'm not opposed to cardio. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just not a great way to, it's not going to solve the weight loss issue, but it will help with your health, especially if you're sedentary. Ideally, it's just walking. So you're going to do your 2 days a week or so of strength training, or 3 days a week of strength training. And then on every other day, I aim for 8,000 to 12,000 steps just through walking, after breakfast, lunch, and dinner and that kind of stuff, and you'll be pretty good. So.
I want to give you access to our forum for free too. I'd like you to be in there so I can check up on you, and you could give me a heads up on your progress and stuff. So if
how long have you been at this, by the way, Christine? How long have you been trying?
Well, I was trying to figure this out. I think it's been about 5 years that I've just been intermittently working out. So not saying I'm super consistent, but I've had a gym membership for 5 years.
Okay.
And some days, some weeks, some months are like spot on. And then there's some that aren't. So putting that out there. But the thing that's bothering me is the last 2 years, it's just been like my belly is just, right. I can't stay lean and fit. So I just feel like it's kind of been this abrupt. I mean, in 2 years, I've gained 13 pounds, and nothing in my life has changed dramatically. Not my diet, I haven't had a child in 9 years, things like that. So that's what really is bothering me, where it's like, why am I going up when I've been doing the same thing for so long?
Something changed. You might not be able to perceive what's going on, but something changed. I know the last 2 years, a lot of people gained weight. Yeah. And it doesn't take much. You do 13 pounds over the course of 2 years. It's like an extra 75 calories a day. Well,
especially when your metabolism is that low. When you're only allowed to eat 1,300 or 1,400 calories, it does not give you a lot of metabolic flexibility.
And the reason why
you poor thing, you have one night with the girls, or have a night out to dinner, and you have a little dessert or something, and it probably feels like it sticks right to you because of how slow the metabolism is.
And I'm not saying this to make you feel bad. The reason why I'm saying this is because people it can feel terrible, like, what is going on? I don't know what's happening. There's something there. It's not like a mystery in the sense of there's your body just all of a sudden changed and now wants to gain a ton of body fat. But it just doesn't take much. It doesn't take much of a change to cause that accumulation over the course of 2 years. How long have you been consistent with your 2 to 3 days a week of strength training recently? Like, how many weeks have you strung together?
I mean, since the summer. I mean, it's
Excellent.
Been definitely this summer, trying to cram in lots of workouts to look good this summer. And then,
Excellent.
I didn't go very well, and then moving forward.
Are you following any of our programs?
My husband's got a few, and I tried anesthetic, and it was a lot. And I just didn't have that kind of time or ability, quite frankly. So
MAPS 15 is what I have my sister-in-law on right
I'm going to send you MAPS 15.
That's what I have my sister-in-law.
And I'm going to also send you MAPS Starter. I think those are the programs you should do right now. But I'm going to send you MAPS 15. After that, MAPS Starter will be good. MAPS Anabolic pre-phase would be good after that. But let's do MAPS 15, and you could do all the workouts at home. You don't even have to go to the gym to do them. And it's 15 minutes every single day, which basically will equate to like 2 50 to 60 minute workouts a week. So except it's 15 minutes a day. And you may find, many people find, that they're way more consistent doing 15 minutes a day versus going to the gym twice a week for an hour. So I'm going to send that to you, and then let us know what happens in the forum. I want to follow up with you.
Stay on the forum, and I want you to worry more about protein than I actually do want you to worry about calories right now. Just really focus on hitting, and the questions that I'm looking for from you is the same ones that like my sister's like, Adam, at this time of day I have a hard time getting this, or this is the normal meal I have, and then I would help her modify it so it would be a better protein meal, kind of like we just did with you, where you're already having 1 to 2 eggs and a little bit of meat. I would say I like the idea of taking some eggs with some meat, but I like the idea of carrying over from dinner the night before, where you had probably a big, more meat-focused meal into your breakfast and to kickstart your day. Yep. I also love the protein oatmeal. I just shared in the story today that I'm using as our Creatures of Habit. It's got 30-something grams of protein, so that's normally what I have her doing if she's not doing the meat and egg things. That's a good start for her day, stuff like that. So yeah, get in the forum, give us feedback on the stuff that you're having challenges with, and then hopefully we can work together through it.
That's awesome. Thank you guys very much. Appreciate it.
No problem. Thanks for calling.
Yeah. Have a good day.
You got it. Boy, I tell you what, how many people have no idea what high protein is? Like how many times that happened to you with a client? We're like, no, I eat a lot of protein. It's like, well, what do you have? Well, I have a turkey sandwich for lunch because there's turkey in it. It's high protein. And you're like, that's
or they don't
12 grams.
even consider it. Like they just consider eating healthy food. Which is most common for me.
That is what's happening. And it's like, it's so, I feel for her because this is such a frustrating place to be.
Totally.
When you really feel like you're making a lot of sacrifice, you're saying no to the drinks, you're saying no to the dessert, you're making good food choices whenever you can, and then you're also exercising 3 days a week, and you're not seeing how frustrating that can be. But 9 times out of 10, it is that client of mine that is just not consistently hitting their protein intake, and you have to understand how important that is in conjunction with the strength training. If all you do is strength train, but then you eat 20 to 40 grams of protein every day,
that's going to be tough.
It's going to be really tough for the body to build muscle.
And it doesn't help that you go to the grocery store and you're like, but I buy the high protein cereal and the products, but I know better. I look at
options.
I look at the back and it's like 5 grams of protein. Like this is called high protein.
Yeah,
like that's not high protein at all.
Or Starbucks, like they have like the protein meal and it's only like 10 grams or so.
Well, you hit it even though you were actually still way under. You said she needs to be 40 grams of protein breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That doesn't even do it.
No, that's 120.
That's 120.
Yeah,
she needs breakfast, lunch, dinner, and a snack at 40 to really hit that 140, 160 range, and there's not a lot of people do that.
Yeah,
nope.
So that's important, and I know there's going to be somebody who's listening like, oh, you don't have to hit that. Of course you don't. The reason why I give that
does it make it a lot easier though.
Yeah, and the reason why I give a target like that is because I know the inevitable is going to happen. She's going to have days where she falls short at 120, 140. But the problem is if it works, it's hard for her to get to 100. Then she has a lot of days where she probably hits 20 to 40 grams in a day. That ain't enough. You ain't going to build muscle that way. You got to make sure you're getting that adequate protein while you're strength training to speed that metabolism up.
Check this out. If you like Mind Pump, head over to mindpumpfree.com and check out our guides. We have guides that can help you with almost any health or fitness goal, and they're all free. mindpumpfree.com. You can also find us on social media. So Justin is on Instagram at mindpumpjustin. Adam is also on Instagram at mindpumpadam, and you can only find me on Twitter at mindpumpsal.